Has there ever been such an egregious bit of Hollywood studio meddling than what Fox Studios did to Raven Darkholme, aka Mystique? I don't think so. So let's compare the comics version to the movies. And remember, if you like the video, just click the button. If you really like the video, subscribe. So Mystique is another character that has a long and complex history and has been involved with the Marvel Universe intricately, always popping up here and there. She's what's known as a metamorph, so she can psionically alter the formation of her biological cells at will. God knows how that works, but then how does one channel beams from another dimension through their eyes, man? None of this makes sense. That's why we love it. She can't get the powers of anyone she changes into though, mind, so it makes it a bit weird that that's why Trask is after her powers for his Sentinels in Days of Future Past. More on that in a bit. But as a result of her physiology, Mystique has been around for a long time, and the best bit about her is that she's really only ever looking out for herself. Oh, and her longtime partner Irene Adler, aka Destiny. I mentioned it in this video with Rogan. It's pretty remarkable they had a lesbian couple back then, very progressive. Although apparently Chris Claremont wanted to make it so that Destiny and Mystique had a biological baby, Nightcrawler, and that Mystique changed into a man to consummate it, but that was shot down as they weren't that progressive. Irene Adler had such a hardcore moment in House of X when she got Pyro to kill Moira McTaggart slowly so that she could remember how painful it was to die when she gets reincarnated. This leads me to another element of Mystique that is different to the average character. She has gotten it on with a load of other Marvel characters. Her TO and wife is obviously Destiny, but she's also been serious with Wolverine. She had a one-night stand with Azazel, him in X-Men First Class, played by Jason Fleming. They're Nightcrawler's parents. She got serious with Sabretooth as two different people, the offspring of one being Graydon Creed, who's a right shit. She got serious with Forge, a mutant who can build things. Had a bit of a casual thing with Phantom X, another Weapon X alumni. She got very serious with Iceman, who actually recently came out as gay, and then had a brief thing with Daken, Wolverine's son. So she is nothing if not open to everything, but clearly has a thing for borderline feral men. In terms of powers, as a mutant, she's a bit stronger and faster than a normal human, and then after being exposed to some radiation during that time Juggernaut bashed a stranger, she can actually use her power to alter her body in weird ways, like getting extra arms and being more jacked to take down a bunch of dudes, turning into a giant monster to take down another big monster. She makes Wolverine's claws and then extends them to kill a dude. She can grow wings now to fly. She can move her internal organs around to avoid them getting hit. And she once changed her matter to avoid an explosion, but that ain't something she can do again apparently. So again, whilst mainly a villain in the Marvel comics, she has dabbled with being alongside the X-Men, but mostly returns to her roots and will betray anyone. And she's had some great fights showing her ingenuity and skill, like when she took down a load of Wolverine people who didn't have their healing factors, to be fair, using smoke and sneakiness. I love when she's being two of them at the same time. Speaking of Wolverine, she has an epic fight with the man himself, one-on-one, using all her weaponry expertise, fighting skill, and her ability to just plain wind him up, ending in a stalemate where she shoots him up the nose and then throws up green stuff on him. Then she scarpers. This fight with Wolverine is one where Mystique is in her absolutely naked form. Apparently she's always naked and just metamorphosizes, that's definitely a word, her clothes. So usually in the comics she has her iconic white outfit on, for modesty, because comics appreciate modesty. This leads us to the movies. You can imagine those grubby Fox execs finding one comic where she's just blue and naked and rubbing their hands together at the idea of spraying Rebecca Romijn's body blue. So the first two X-Men did Mystique some justice. I mean, the powers are the powers, they definitely got them right. And she's definitely got some fighting skills when she takes down Wolverine. I remember the FX on that kick being amazing for its time. The second one, the best one, again, she has a great scene taking all the guards down. I love it that it ends with her just flipping the bird. And there's a nice example of her trying it on with Wolverine, which feels very true to the character. She gets dicked over in number 3, losing her powers and getting ditched by Magneto. They love pairing her up with Magneto in the movies, but they barely do anything together in the comics. And then there's the Jennifer Lawrence version. She can be a great actress. Silver Linings Playbook is one of my all-time favourites, but in these movies she's just so up and down. In First Class the character's just a bit meh, mainly as she's being heroic, and that's just not Mystique. In the studio saw sense, and in the excellent Days of Future Past, she's an absolute badass, kicking the shit out of people, seducing people, just being loads more like the Raven we know and love.
What's the matter, baby? You don't think I look pretty like this?
Also really good at sliding on the floor as Mystique in the movies. But then we get to X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, and it's just like Jen doesn't care anymore. And the decision by the studio to basically make her the Cyclops of the team, because she's Jennifer Lawrence and everyone loved her as Katniss Everdeen,
I volunteer as tribute!
Is wince-inducing. So less about the powers here. She's always able to shapeshift, and I think her growing extra arms and muscles would have been a bit weird. But the difference most is that she's just not the machine she was in the comics. And where was Irene? Alright, I'm done. Bye-bye.